Yo broski, what up? It's me again, rating and reviewing all the music that you guys send me every single week. For this week, I'm reviewing Mannequin Pussy, I Got Heaven. Before I get into the review, just a quick reminder of how I rate and review all the music. I have 6 tiers of rating, which is number 1, banger, maybe banger, good but forgettable, bad, and last but not least, terrible songs. Additionally, I have assigned to each of these ratings a numerical value from +5 all the way to -5 points. That way, once we average out the number of the songs, you can see where I believe this album falls in a rating scale. Also, I want to add an additional modifier at the end of the album based on how cohesive the album works as a structure. So if I think that they didn't just throw songs in there for the sake of throwing songs, but that the whole album works as an overall one single piece, then I will give it an additional bonus points at the end because I think that an album is just more than just the sum of its parts. Once I'm done rating and reviewing every single one of the songs, I will give my explanation why I gave every single one of the songs the ratings that I gave it. I will give the album an overall rating. I will also compare my ratings with the Spotify number of listens of each of the songs to see if, based on my ratings, that also aligns with the popularity of each of the tracks. Last but not least, before I rate every single album that I rate, I try to listen to it a minimum of 5 different times. For this particular album, I listened a total of 8 times. Very simple album, only 30 minutes long, so I really appreciate how quick it went by, that sometimes even after listening it one time, I just put it on repeat and listened to it back to back, just the same album over and over again. Which is not something that you can do with every single album, but this album, because of how short it was, it allowed itself to be played a couple of times, which I appreciated. So with that being said, let's get into the first track for Mannequin Pussy, I Got Heaven, with the very first track called I Got Heaven. And let's get right into the review and my rating for this song. I think this song is good but forgettable. And I don't know the people that listen to this band. I can't really say that this is the kind of music that I listen to, but it is a little bit, and also it is not a little bit. I would consider this band to be, I don't know, somewhere between a mix of like punk and with some shoegazing elements. I don't like to really put bands in categories, but I think that's kind of what I'm getting vibes of. There are some parts that are very aggressive and some parts that are very shoegazy. If that's like, they're just like melancholic with lots of distortion, with like that typical female voice lead that, even though they're a good singer, they purposely sometimes sing awkwardly. And I feel like those are just elements that are classic to the shoegazy vibe. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those elements. I'm just pointing them out so you guys know what I'm talking about. For this song in particular, I Got Heaven, even though this is the name of the album, I don't think this is the track that stands out the most, at least not to me. There are other tracks in the album that I believe are a little bit stronger than this one. Something that I do notice, and this is the first time I had heard of this band, so things that I'm noticing is that yes, they are punk. The drums are very aggressive, very in your face. Actually, almost all of the elements are very on your face, and I think the one that is probably the least on your face is the vocals. I know that might sound a little bit weird, but the vocals have an effect that makes it sound that is just a little bit farther back, and the instruments are just overwhelming them. So I want to just play that a little bit so you guys can tell what I'm talking about. So I know that that was very short, but I feel the guitar is very on your face, the bass is on your face, the drums are very tight and compact, and she has to shout amongst all of that. It almost feels to me that, yeah, let's say that they're playing on a stage, that all of the instruments are in front of her and she's trying to shout across all of them. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, to me, it's just something that I notice when I hear the mix, that um, she wants to be on your face aggressive, but she's the one that is the farthest back from everything else in the band. Um, I think that starting with, the song is very confrontational, and I don't mean with the lyrics. Well, maybe with the lyrics are fine, but and and I guess that also plays into the beauty of the song, because the feeling that I get from the song is that it wants to confront me from the get-go. Let's listen to the intro. It starts again. Let's try it. So the lyrics, I went and walked myself like a dog without a leash. Now I'm growling at a stranger. I am biting at their knees. So already the lyrics very confrontational, but also it's a quick intro into like a da 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 ba da ba da ba 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 da ba da ba 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 da ba da ba ba beep beep ba da ba ba ba. And that's really on your face, the way that she's just shouting at you. So it has a little bit of a confrontational. I think it's has a short runtime, but in the mix there's no wasted space. Actually, I think that all of the frequencies are just the equalizer for the song is to be is all full. Pretty much every frequency from the lowest to the highest is being saturated. Um, I think everything in the song feels very tense, very compressed. It's almost like it's pushing against the ceiling, like it wants to get out there. I think that the guitars are very aggressively. They're also very minimal, just jam, 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 jam. It's very simple beat, but everything is in the mix, just maxed out. There's no really lots of melodies, and I think that's intentional. They're just shouting at you. This took me a long time to figure it out, because I'm like, why are they giving me so much noise? It's hard. This is something that I also happened to experience with this particular album, is that I had to ride the volume, like in some parts, and I'm like, oh, I want to hear this part more, and I would increase the volume, and then there would be a part of the song where like, that got too loud, let's decrease it. So the parts of this song that are very loud, they are punitive. I feel like I'm being punished for trying to listen to it more. But I think that's the identity of. I think, like I said, it's confrontational. They wanna make a mark, and I appreciate it because I can tell the identity just by that first song. It almost feels like the album is telling me that I'm not gonna be eased into the album. It's like, you're gonna be here, we're gonna make a mark, and this is what it is, and you can better like it, and that's okay, because I like hardcore music, I like punk, I like a lot of distortion, so all of this sits well. Just to me, when I hear this song, it's not a song that I'm like, oh, that's right, that's the opener of the album. It's not the one that stands out to me the most. So that's why I gave it the rating that it's a good song, but it's forgettable, at least to me. I always forget that, like, what is the main song of this album? And I'm like, oh yeah, that it's the opener. That doesn't. It takes me somewhere. It gives me an emotion, but it's not. It doesn't stand out to me. So let's take a look at the next song, "Loud Bark." Actually, before we move into Loud Bark, I do think that the song for I Got Heaven, it has let's listen to the chorus. And you say you want a difference, the honor to be yours, like a father said, a mother said, and them in verse before. Oh, there's also this thing that I like to do, that there are some parts of songs that remind me of other songs. So this song reminds me of an Olivia Rodrigo song, which I think is called Brutal. So let's try to play this here. And this is I Got Heaven by Mannequin Pussy. Our mother said, and them in those before, and you say you want a difference, the honor to be yours. Now let's listen to Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo. I'm so insecure, I think that I'll die before I drink. And I'm so caught up in the news of who likes me and who hates you. It sounds very familiar. It's like the very distorted guitar into like that spoken sort of situation. I don't know if you can hear it. Let's go back to Mannequin Pussy. And this is I Got Heaven. For protection and assurance that all would be delivered. Like our father said, our mother said, and them in those before. And you say you want a difference, the honor to be yours. I think it obviously is not the same song. I'm not saying copyright. I'm not saying they copied each other. Nothing like that. I'm just saying that they have similar elements. So just something that I wanted to point out. And obviously, I like the chorus, like I got heaven. Sorry for my singing voice. But yeah, those are the things I wanted to point out. Now we can move on to Loud Bark. So we get to the second song, and this song is a banger. And I'll also go out and say that this is my favorite song of the album. So I think that this song, in comparison and in contrast with the first track of the album, this one is much gentler, which it is such a nice transition because the album, like we said before, it starts very abruptly, very confrontational, and this one is more controlled. There's less explosion. It still feels confrontational because even in the lyrics, she says she's a loud bark, deep bite. Is that what she says? I'm a loud bark, deep bite. And then it gets really aggressive, like she's trying to tell you that. But it's more controlled, it's more restrained. I think the voice rides on that groove. And I'll be honest, when I first listened to this song, I thought this song was bad. I had given it a rating of bad, but I think that's the beauty of listening to the album and to music more than one single time and getting your first impression just the first time you hear it. That's why I like to listen to albums a minimum of 5 times, at least once every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. And for this album, like I said, I listened to it 8 times, and this song just gets better and better every time I hear it. I don't want to skip it. I don't want to skip it ever. I think that the mix allows for more low-end presence. That means that they took down all of the heavy guitars that are really distorted and very high frequencies, and you can groove more with the bass. So the bass, the kick drum just feels heavier, giving the song like a more physical sort of body level thump to it. I think the song is still very raw. The instruments are very on your face, but the space between each hit and each groove of the song it feels like it matters. There's like it adds to like some sort of the intimidation of the lyrics and what she's trying to say, that I'm like, I believe you. Every time that you say that you're a loud bark, deep bite, I believe it each time more. So this song, I also want to compare it to another song, and then it's just for a little part that I think there's a band called Jimmy Eat World, and they have a song that is they have, like, when this song starts, let's just listen to the beginning. Sorry, I'm getting jumbled up in my words, but they have a nice melody that do 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 do. There's another band that has an intro like that, which is, like I said, Jimmy Eat World. I think there's a song called Night Drive. Night Drive by... Did I not put it right? Apologies for that. I should have had it ready. But okay, it's right here. Night Drive. Obviously, it's not the same, but it's that do 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 do. Anyway, obviously it's not the same, but when I heard this song, I got reminded of that other song. That doesn't mean that they are the same or they stole the idea. Again, nothing like that. Just that one melody reminded me of the other one. I like this song, like I said, it's such a contrast from the first track. I think that there's a lot of depth in the album, and I think that it's difficult to do that with guitar, bass drum, vocals, and bass drum, guitar, bass guitar, vocals, and drums. When you only have those classic instruments for rock and roll and punk, and you don't have any additional techno, synthesizers, piano, or anything like that, it's very difficult to come up with something competitive in the market. But I think this song kinda lands. I don't know if this is the most popular song in the album. I think it could be, but I don't know the band. It's a punk band, and for the ballad or for the most softer song to be their most popular song feels a little bit weird. However, I feel like this would be the most commercial one because it's the most accessible to people that don't necessarily listen to punk. Right, punk is more, it polarizes people more, therefore less people get into it. However, because this song is groovy all throughout the song, it just has nice groove and space, then I feel like more people would have access to it. So yes, Loud Bark is a banger. Let's go on to the next song, Nothing Like. Actually, before we go into Nothing Like, and I know I did this just with the other song as well, I want to show you what I mean by how the song is just very groovy. Like, I know I'm saying all these things, but I think it would be nice if we could play the parts that I'm talking about. So... Not a single motherfucker has tried to like me. Oh. It's so smooth. It's so... I just want to listen to it. There's so much space in the mix. The guitar is not saturated like before. And like I said, it has that bass drum and that bass guitar just very groovy in the background. Like you can hear the bass, dun, 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 dun. Like you can hear it very clearly in the mix. And you feel the from the bass drum. Like all of the low frequencies are there. You can hear them all. The mix can breathe, where the voice can just be on top of that ever so, like, just perfect. I'm always with a woman, I taste like success. I keep all the sugar. Best I can be like deep by her. Let's listen to the chorus. Even in the chorus, when the guitar enters and it just saturates the mix more, it is more melodic. It's not that sharp chord that we hear on the first song, like jan 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 jan. It's more like you can hear the single individual notes that is being played. And that's just, they're giving it a lot of effect and a lot of power behind that same melody, but this song can still breathe. And the second verse is where I like, it is my favorite verse of the song. Like, I want to be a danger. I want to be a door. I like that line. And then, like, I'm such a romantic. I'm such a fucking tease. I keep you in my sugar and you eat it on your knees. I'm my love. Bark deep. The second verse, I like it much better than the first verse, which I think that's uncommon for songs. I think usually the first verse is catchier, but I think the second one this time around, I like it way more than the first verse. So anyway, now that we listened to a little bit of Loud Bark, let's move on to the next song, Nothing Like. So Nothing Like is good but forgettable. I also want to say that with the caveat that it's not a bad song. When I say that a song is good but forgettable, they're good. I just think you forget that they exist in the albums. This song, in comparison to the first two songs, doesn't have a crescendo. It doesn't really, like, it starts at the same place where it ends. Like, it kind of has that unresolved feeling. Like, I'm like, this song kind of just kept me there but never resolved anywhere. And you know, that's not a criticism, that's just something that I'm pointing out. And I think it's part of the identity of the band so far. Like I said, the band is very confrontational, and I think that every single one of the songs has a lot of tension in it, but they are expressing tension in different ways. So in the first song, it's very abrupt, and that being so abrupt and in your face just creates tension with the listener. In the second song, is more melodic with lots of space, and then she's trying to tell you that she has a loud bark, and it's just growing, and it has that crescendo that I'm talking about. In this one, it doesn't have it. The whole time I am tense waiting for that moment, and it never happens. So it's beautiful to see how tension is being created in all three different ideas, either on your face, either on a crescendo, or either by not giving you that crescendo, just the whole time you're waiting for her to raise her voice like she has before, and she doesn't. In a way, this song feels more like there's some strain and some hesitation that you feel from listening to it. I'm not saying that she hesitated on the lyrics or anything like that. I'm saying that that's the feeling that is being given. So let's listen to a little bit of Nothing Like so you can see what I'm talking about. The song starts very on the beat, very immediate. Oh, sorry, just ended. Let me start it again. So right, it starts dum da dum dum da dum dum, and it just stays there. Like, it didn't transition from that into anything. It's just the vocals begin on that same beat. There's no intro, if you want to say. Like, the intro is just 2 bars without the vocals. right? So even during the chorus, she's like, and I kept you waiting. It's not rising in tension. It's just staying there. And actually, I think it's going down. And yeah, it's actually going down. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so it starts lower than where it began. Sorry, it took me a while to get that. So the song during the chorus is actually coming down. It's not rising. Very different from the previous song that we just heard. The song also has that punk beat that I think other bands have. One example is Blink-182. I think Blink-182 also has a song that starts like "Tukatun-ka, tuka-katun-ka." So let's listen to "Nothing Like" in the beginning. I think they start with a guitar. I think Blink-182 has "I Miss You" that starts like that. Obviously, they have a different beat with the bass, and I think obviously the drums are a little bit different, but it has that dun cat dun dun cat dun cat dun. I hope you guys hear it. I'll play it again. Blink-182, first again now. And then now let's play Nothing Like. So it has that same sort of groove, and Blink-182 also being a punk band, and then this guy's being a punk band as well. So there's some similarities. So it's got that same groove, which is nice. I like that groove. But yeah, so Nothing Like, good, but forgettable. Let's go on to the next song, I Don't Know You. So this song is maybe banger. I really like this song. It just doesn't do it for me every single time. The whole album, and sometimes I create stories myself. Like, I don't know if everything that I've said about this album thus far is what they intended. Like in the first song, I don't know if they intended to be confrontational and in your face, and then the next one be confrontational but more build it there. And then if in the next one they try to show tension, like by never resolving the song entirely. Those are things that I feel like I'm being told, or that I create that story as I listen to the album, and I'm like, oh, they wanted to show me this. Oh, and this song is trying to tell me this. And I start creating those stories in my head. Now, they probably felt that way in certain sense, that like, oh, this song fits perfectly here and this one here. And the one that's creating that narrative of what they try to do with each song is me. Or if they are geniuses as well. I'm not saying that I'm a genius, but I like the storytelling aspect of this, of how, or I try to understand why they organized the album in the way that they did. Now with the song I Don't Know You, I feel like this song is the first time that they're allowing the melody to exist at the same time that they're trying to crush it. So if I'm gonna listen to I Got Heaven again. Let's listen to the chorus of I Got Heaven.
Like our fathers did, you're honored to have some shit we've heard before. And what if I'm an angel?
That's kind of what I mean. They have the and ooh, I'm an angel. So the melody is happening, and immediately after that, crush it. Like, It's like we had the nice melody and then immediately we have to crush it. In Loud Bark, we have, first of all, I like the melody of the verses, so let's listen to those.
Not a single motherfucker who's tried to like me. Oh,
So you have the melody, and then when we get to the chorus, it's more like of a shout, like I'm a loud bark, deep bite.
I'm a loud bark, deep bite. A loud bark, deep bite. I got a loud bark.
And then in that part, the melody, the I got a loud bark, deep bite is fighting with the guitars and with everything. It's just being crushed. And she's fighting to say it even louder. In the next song, Nothing Like, the melody exists, but it was never challenged. Like I said, it was never resolved. It's just allowed to exist. However, in I Don't Know You, I feel like they're trying to get that nice permission from both the crushing and the melody to be able to exist. So now let's listen to I Don't Know You.
But I wouldn't tell you, no, I couldn't tell you. I know a lot of things. I know a lot of things, but I don't know you.
So we have that.
Wouldn't know how.
This is the part when I'm talking about where like everything starts. There's a crescendo to the song. And the melody, she's not fighting to exist in the melody like in Loud Bark. Or the melody wasn't crushed like in I Got Heaven. It's just, it exists, what is the word? Symbiotically with the rest of the track. The guitar is also pretty simple. Jan, 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 jan. It's not my favorite. I don't really enjoy when they just give me tones in the background of songs. But because it's fighting with the melody, but the melody is not. It's complementing the melody. It's sitting on a nice bed for the guitar to sit there and the melody to exist within it, and it's not confronting each other. So it's something that I appreciate about the song. I love the melodic, like I love that melody. It gets stuck in my head. It's just that when it gets to that symbiotic place of the guitar and the melody together, sometimes I get lost in the song and I'm like, what am I on the song? And then it ends. So that's why the song to me is a maybe banger, where I love the first half and the second half sometimes for me does it and it's like, oh yeah, I want to hear this. And sometimes I'm like, I wish I could have gotten a little bit more of the first half. So great song overall, very nice cohesive structure to the album. And yeah, that's kind of what I had to say about that. Doesn't remind me of any other songs. Obviously, I think it has elements of punk and other, maybe more rock and roll as well. But yeah, that's my rating for I Don't Know You. Let's go with the next one, Sometimes. This song went through a roller coaster. I thought it was bad. I thought it was I thought it was bad again. I thought it was good but forgettable. But this song is a banger. It took me a while to understand the song, but I think it's also, I mean, that's what I said. You have to listen to music more than once so it can really grow on you and you begin to understand why it's so good. So I love this song. This song is the first one that I think is a nice cohesion of rock and roll, punk, that shoegazy sort of thing. I love the first verse. Let's listen to it and how the song starts.
Eat your tiny pillow.
The way that she already singing, that way that she's a good singer, but she has that awkward sort of feeling to her voice is what I mean. Like it's a little shoegazy, but I like it.
Go and chase your inner thrill. The center's falling, I see. So fill me.
I mean, the drums are very steady. They're on the pocket, like they're on the beat. They're very tight. The guitar work is very sparse. Like it barely, like you hear the cling, cling, and it isn't until the song actually does the crescendo that it becomes very aggressively during the chorus. Here.
Sometimes.
Oh, not there. Here.
Sometimes. Oh, sometimes.
So I like that. And the second part, you can also hear the guitar, but this time it's strum. You can really hear the strumming. So I love all of that. The song can breathe during the verses, where she does the shoegazy feel. At least that's what I'm calling it. That doesn't mean that that's what it is. It's just how I'm differentiating it. And then during the chorus, it really grows into the chan 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 chan, and I really like it. It really fights. The song fights you, and it takes you for that ride, and it never stops moving forward. So you're kind of on it at all times. This song also reminds me of a couple of other songs. The beginning, especially, I think there's a song by another band called Two Door Cinema Club. So let's listen to Sometimes, and let's listen to the intro. That that part. Now listen to Two Door Cinema Club. What's this song? I think it's this song. That song. Obviously, it's not the same song, but it's the same idea. It starts with like that guitar strumming with like, I don't know if it's a reverb or a filter on it, and then the song goes in, and it goes into the song. And the other song that it reminds me of is a song from Paramore, actually the most famous song from Paramore, which is Mystery Business. But if we go to the album, Sometimes you have this part, I think over here.
Oh, sometimes.
No, after the second chorus, I think it's here. So that guitar, that sort of groove, that's in the Paramore Mystery Business.
It's just not one of them.
Here. Right? I hope that you guys are hearing what I'm hearing. And if we go back to sometimes, again, same idea. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's just there's similarities and other ideas that I've heard in other songs that I like both of those songs. And when I hear those ideas in this song, and I'm like, oh, I love that. It's familiar to me. Therefore, I appreciate it more. And now that it's being expressed by a different band, I can see their own take on it and how they came up with all of these things and put it together in their own work. So just wanted to point that out. I love the song. The song is a banger to me. Never really skip it. So yep. Let's go with the next song. Okay? Okay. Okay? Okay. Let's listen to that. I mean, is there a question here? This song is clearly a banger. This is what a punk band is all about. Just being abrasive, intense, a song that refuses to let up. I was very surprised that my brother sent me this because I thought it was going to be shoegazy the whole way through, but this song is so on your face. I love this type of music. If my brothers know me, I listen to heavier stuff than this, and I like this in particular because this type of song does not follow a traditional commercial structure. It doesn't have an intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. It doesn't do that. Actually, can you guys even find it? The fact that it just takes you from one point of the song to the next spot, to the next one, to the next one, and it just changes beats. It's also syncopated at some point on the drum set, and I'm like, oh my god, there's syncopation here. I was blown away, and I'm like, I just want more of this song. I was debating making this my favorite song in the album, but I think this is just a song that immediately goes into my playlist, and I don't have to question why it's there. It's just go to playlist immediately. Loud Bark is the one that completely moved me, that I was not expecting. So that one ended up being my favorite song because every time I hear it and I'm like, wow, I find it so beautiful. With this one, and I'm like, obviously I find it beautiful, but I'm like, oh, this is my vibe. Immediately just grab it. Let's listen to a little bit of it, and I'll show you how the song doesn't have like a structure. I mean, there's a structure to it, but it doesn't follow the traditional commercial structure of other songs. So let's start from the beginning. So you go into the next part of the song. So yeah, you have like this whole like abrasive intro into like, and then there's syncopation like with the drums go like, it's amazing how they do that transition. Like listen to the change in the drums on that, how it goes like that syncopated feel. It's so nice. It breaks repetition so nicely. Let's listen to it. Wasn't that beautiful? I love that kind of music. I love that kind of instrumentation. It's just so well executed. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen again in the song, and I'm like, oh no, give me more of it. And then it goes into I think like a two-step beat where I'm like, oh my god, open the pit. Open the pit. yeah, some two-stepping. That song gets me. There's so much energy. It just calms me down because I can let all that energy out. It calms down my brain. So this song is a banger, just immediately. Nothing bad to say about this song, just that I guess the only bad thing to say is that there's no more syncopation, like but what I found, and I'm like, I love it. I love it. I didn't know that this I was gonna be listening to some syncopated drums like that in a very punk style song when my brother sent me this album. So very, very nice surprise. Thank you for that. So let's go to the next song, Softly. So this song is bad. So we got to the point of the album where we have the first bad song, at least in my opinion. The reason I give it this rating is because I feel like the first 6 songs have a clear identity. That's what they want to be. And I think this song is what maybe they try to use as a break. It almost feels like an interlude, but it doesn't carry you anywhere. I also feel like in some parts of the song, I don't even think they know what to do with the melody. Like, do they go up? Do they go down? And I feel like she just stays flat and maybe a little bit out of tune. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but to me it sounds like, are you trying to sing high or are you trying to sing low? Because like, which note are you trying to hit? And I feel like it's stuck in this limbo that I'm like, I thought like the first half of the song is, to me, but the ending part of the song is just, I think, in my eyes, poorly executed. And that's what makes me give it the bad rating, because the song is not annoying to give it a terrible rating. It's just the execution of and the idea, what they wanted to put in the song, just to me, it doesn't hit. It's not properly executed. So let's listen to the beginning of the song, Softly. Let's listen to that.
Tell me softly.
Immediately they tell me softly. And I'm like, did you try to do something like tell me softly? It's not, it's like softly. It's like, did you try to go up or down? I'm already, like, I feel like she's already in down. I think that's on purpose. Just, I don't particularly like it. Like, my ears, I'm like, I sense that they didn't know where to go with it.
Tell me softly.
Softly. And I'm like, it doesn't sound softly, it sounds weirdly.
That you wanna know. Daylight, it brings revelations back.
Revelations, but it sounds flat to me.
Out your head, your lips, your eyes, and you plead, and you say.
You have now this interesting padding, like synthesizer, which I'm like, oh, that's a nice time element that I think is the first time we hear that sort of element in their album, which I'm like, oh, interesting. Is that gonna go anywhere?
But I got what you need. I got what you need for desperate.
And it doesn't go anywhere. She's like, I got what you need, and it's so drowned in chords. And all of this to me is fine. It's not that, up to here, it's not bad. It's just, it's not, I'm like waiting for an idea to properly be executed. It's like, they tell me softly, and I'm like, is that an idea that we're gonna execute? It doesn't happen. Is the synthesizer happening? It doesn't happen. and then we get to the chorus and it's just drowned out, and I'm like, we have a nice song, but it's just not giving it the extra oomph. Like even the melody, I'm like a little confused with what the melody is trying to tell me. Let's go to the second part, the second chorus.
What if one day
So this is after the second chorus and the bridge, I guess.
I don't want this anymore? What if one day I don't want you anymore?
So the first part, what if one day I don't want this anymore? It's like, what, like, are you going up? But then she doesn't go up, she keeps it low. That's what I'm saying. Like this song, are you Christian? Are you rising or are you falling? So it's like, I feel like it should be, what if one day I don't want you anymore? But I feel like it's like the way that it's executed is like, what if one day I don't want this anymore? It's like the anymore just falls. Like, listen to see if you hear what I'm saying.
What if one day?
So what if one day? So what if one day? Let's listen to that again.
What if one day I don't want this anymore?
I don't want this anymore. I don't want this anymore. It's, are you going up? Are you going down? I don't know where you are. And like and it's even difficult for me to sing because I'm trying to, I always forget like how it goes. It's like, are you going up or are you going down? And I feel like it stays flat.
What if one day I don't want this anymore?
And I think it's even worse when the instruments come in because it sounds out of tune. Here.
What if one day I don't love you anymore? What if one day I don't want you anymore?
This part.
What if one day
Sounds out of tune to me.
I don't love you anymore?
And then we get this part, which to me is like, we didn't hear that in this song before. It's like a whole new idea. So I'm like, what are we executing on?
And you play, and you say, and you play, and you say, and you play, and you say.
So yeah, that's why I think it's a bad song. It's like it has some nice ideas, but the execution, I don't know where it's going. Therefore, it's just bad. Let's go to the next song of her. This song is eh. So the song only has one idea. The and it's just that. That's the whole song. There are some parts that I find interesting. For example, when they say "I was in control," and then the song gets really like that's the most control there is in the song, because the song is like so fast paced with very abrasive guitars. but then when it goes like I was in control, and there's control in the song. I think that this is the true interlude. I know that I said that the previous song I felt like they wanted to make some sort of break, but I think that this song is the true interlude of the album. Actually, I think the song is fairly short. It's a minute and 34 seconds, shorter than the previous song, and up to now the shortest song in the album. And it's interesting that the interlude is a song that is very fast paced, and that it keeps you in control. They were in control, but I do think that that's a play on words in the album. So I like the beat. It's just that it doesn't do anything more than just transition the album from what we just listened to like a nice fast beat pace for a little bit. So let's listen to that for 1 second.
It was born, how we fall, the sacrifices that were made, so I can make it, so I can make it.
Yeah, so just like the fast pace.
Everything I wanted, they could take it. I was in control, control. She gave me her control.
I love that part. But that's the whole song. It doesn't need to be more than that, but that's why I say it's an interlude. It's it just plays again, and then the song is over, and it doesn't really fully explore an idea. It just is, and it's fine being what it is. But um, aside from that, it's just eh. So that's my rating of her. Let's go with the next song, Aching. So this song is good but forgettable. I was thinking it would be maybe banger, but I always forget that this song is in the album. Just I'm like, what's next? And then this song plays, and I'm like, what's this song? Oh yeah, that song. I like this song. It has an identity. It executes well on that identity, but that identity is not much. It's just sort of vanilla, but in a way that it's intuitive and familiar to follow. So it we go back to some distortion, some heaviness, um, and it doesn't have that structure. It's similar to like okay, 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 which doesn't follow the verse chorus sort of structure of commercial songs. This song also doesn't follow that. Uh, it just takes us from one riff to the next guitar riff to the next guitar riff, and then the song is over. I like all of those riffs individually. However, the complexity that was in okay, 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 okay doesn't exist here. When it comes to like, it's not musically complex. It's just very to the point. I think, but that's just what punk is. So it's good. I enjoy it, but I don't find it very memorable. Um, I think it's very simple and easy to replicate. If that, and that's not an insult. It's just that's kind of what I get like chan 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 chan. It just feels like I could play that in my guitar, and the drums as well. And that's not, like I said, it's not an insult. It's just something that I feel like it's not as complex. How hard, like to me, sometimes I feel like how hard is that idea to pull off by any other musician out there? And if any kind of intermediate sort of musician can pull it off, then part of it, I feel like the song kind of loses a little bit of how good it could be. Sometimes you hear something very simple, and obviously it's very different because I think like the Beatles and their music is something that many intermediate or beginner musicians can replicate. I just think coming up with the idea is much harder than the execution for somebody like the Beatles. Like not everybody can come up with the melodies. that the Beatles came up with. But for this one specifically, there's not really a melody. It's like it's harmonies. It's just chords. Chan, 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 chan. I mean, there are. It feels very basic. But that being said, I like it. I enjoy it. I open up the pit with it. When I'm in the car, I'm like, oh, I curse. Oh shit, get ready. Let's listen to the parts that I'm talking about. I love that part. And then if we go to the next part. I mean, there's also tempo changes, which I also didn't think my brother would give me songs that would change tempo in the middle of the song. And what I mean with tempo is like the song goes like, how does the song go again? Sorry, see, I forget. Dun, 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 like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, bam, bam, bam. That's a slower 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then 1, 2. Anyway, let's switch. I know that I'm not doing it right, but that's because I forget what the song sounds like, and that's just what the song is. It's good, but it's forgettable. I got you, I got to break free. I wanna feel it from the top. Tempo beat. I mean, tempo change. So what? I wanna feel it from the top. I got you, I got you, I got you, I got to break free. Rewind yourself. So overall, very nice, but I always forget how the song goes. So what? I wanna feel it from the top. Just tell me what you need. So yes, good song, but forgettable. I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but yes. So we're getting through the entire album here, and we only have the last song left. So it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, a lot of tension, but very short and nice songs. Actually, there's very few bad songs. I think the only bad song has been Softly. So let's listen now to the last song, Split Me Open. And this last song is... Split Me Open. So I feel like it's a song that I can put on the background and it's fine if it exists. Just kind of numbs me, and I think it speaks a lot about the album because it doesn't resolve the album. The album has so much conflict. And when I say conflict is that I don't mean that the album has issues. It's that emotionally, I feel like all of the songs carry lots of conflicts. And what most artists do is that in their last song, they try to have like this masterpiece that kind of resolves all of the conflicts of the album. And in this one, it doesn't resolve them. It just kind of lays them bare, if that makes any sense. And these are the conflicts, and it's over. So nothing gets resolved. A storytelling purpose. It's just I actually don't know if any song in the album like can resolve how much conflict there is in the album emotionally. And I think that's kind of where I feel like it's just difficult to do that with a band that is just, like I said, just guitar, drum, bass, and vocals. Musically, you are limited by the things you can do. So it's difficult to do that. So I feel like it's fine that this song exists. But because you're sort of limited by what you have, then you cannot build it into a crescendo and resolve it, because all of your good ideas and everything that has been on the album has been so well executed that you like, how much more can you give? Which I'm curious what other albums from this band sound like and what ideas they executed in those albums, because it's difficult to come up with new material when you are limited with the amount of instruments. You have to be like a musical genius, or like in a way that you can come up with melodies in such a unique manner that it doesn't make it sound repetitive. This album in itself, I don't think it's repetitive. I think it has lots of conflict emotionally, which I like. I think all of the ideas went up and down, and I overall enjoyed it. I guess while in the making of this video, I listened to the album again, so it's a 9th time that I listened to the album, and I have to say that I'm going to give the album an extra few points for the cohesion of it, because I think it fits well together. So, before I give you my overall rating of the album, I want to say that let's listen to Split Me Open, and what I mean by the song not resolving and just staying in like the one single idea. So let's listen to that.
Split me open, pour your love in me.
This is like a song that is a vibe, but I don't think it does anything amazing musically. I like the melody in the chorus.
There's someone who deeply needs you.
The da 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 da.
The body's a temple is
And 'cause nothing's gonna change.
nothing's gonna change, 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 nothing's gonna change,
The song is just there the whole time. It exists. It's nice, but I feel like it's It just doesn't bring me the emotion that all of the other songs did. So yep. So with that, we get to the final rating of the album, and if my math is correct, the average is 1.55. And for album cohesion, I'm gonna give it an extra 0.5, which brings it up to 1.6. The 0.5 I added before I divide by the number of songs. So 1.6 is a maybe banger. This album is not something that I would choose to listen to every single day, but when I listen to it and I'm like, there's some days that I'll be like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. It's short, it's sweet to listen to. There's a couple of songs that I would skip, that I can do without, but the ones that I like, I'm generally gonna like him. I'm generally gonna listen to the whole thing. The album is also short enough with very concise ideas that I could just listen to the whole thing very easily, just 30 minutes. And like I said, even during my listening, I listened to the album back to back a couple of times because it was so easy to get through. So now let's take a look at the popularity of the songs to see if they match my ratings. So let me grab those here, 1 second, just looking for the popularity of the songs. And the popularity, like I said, is based on the Spotify number of listens. So The popularity. Number one is the name of the album, I Got Heaven. So I Got Heaven is the most popular song, which is interesting to me. It's a good song, just I always kind of forget how it goes, but I always enjoy listening to it. I think sometimes what happens with these bands is that people listen to them and they just listen to the first song to see if they want to hear the rest of the album. So they hear the first song and I'm like, okay, this is good. Then they might listen to the second one. It's like, okay. And then after that, they just, okay, this is good. And then just forget about the rest of the songs, which is sad to me. But that's just how people are. So number one most popular song is I Got Heaven, which I said it was good but forgettable. Then the number two most listened to song is Loud Bark, which was my favorite song in the album. So people like the song. I thought it was gonna be probably going to be the most commercial one because I think it's the easiest one to get into. But I can see why I Got Heaven also got number one. After that we have I Don't Know You. And I Don't Know You, I think I said it was maybe banger. I Don't Know You, maybe banger. So there you go. I think I'm not too far off there. The next song is Sometimes, which I said it was a banger. I really like that song, but apparently people with only 5 million listens, it sits at number 4 most listened to song in the album. After that we have Nothing Like, which I thought it was a good song, but forgettable. Again, good but forgettable. So I think the ratings are kind of where I am thus far, with the only difference being that, oh well, no, actually sometimes I would have put higher anyway. So some similarities, but for the most part, all of the good songs that I said were good are at the top, the ones that most people listen to. So after that we have Softly, and Softly was the song that I said was bad. So not everybody agreed. I thought this was the worst song in the album, but people have it as their most listened to number 6. Like, tell me softly, and I'm like, oh my god, let's skip this one. After that we have okay, which I thought was a banger. But yes, this is difficult for people because this, like, if you're going for the commercial listeners, they're not gonna appreciate this as much. If you're going for the punk listeners, then you have a banger here, but it's difficult because who are you catering to? And I think that's why maybe this band has some troubles finding their public and their identity. If they have any, I don't know. Obviously, there's the band. It seems like a mid-range sort of band, low-end, mid-range, somewhere in between there. Like their most listened song, the most popular one is "I Got Heaven," and it's 15 million plays. And if we listen to Rosalia from last week, like the most listened song had 500 million. So it's the difference on the fame and the amount of listeners is drastic. So that's why I think this is somewhere between the low and mid-range sort of band. And I think it's difficult to find an identity when you're switching genres. I like it, I enjoy it, I like when bands do this, but it's just difficult to find your audience that way. And then we have Split Me Open after okay, which I thought it was but that's also, I guess, what people are thinking. It kind of sits at the bottom half of the album and the amount of songs. Then we have Aching, which I thought was a good song but forgettable. And then we have Of Her, which I thought was Aqua, you okay? Hey baby. Aqua needs to go out, so let's finish this video really quick. So yes, Of Her is the one that people have listened to the least, which I thought, I also said it was So for the most part, my songs don't exactly match what people are or how people listen to the songs. But overall, they sort of like, maybe not one by one, but the ones that I said were good are the ones that are the most listened to, and the ones that I said were or bad sit at the bottom half. So there's some agreement that the ones that people are listening to the least are the ones that I sort of rated poorly. So I'm sorry, bro, if you think that the whole album is a banger. As you can see, not even the fans of this band listen to the songs that I also rated poorly. So if you disagree with what I'm saying, then you disagree also with your own people that are listening to this album, because they're also not listening to the songs. You can say like, oh no, this song is great, and I'm like, well, you're not listening enough apparently. So yeah, that's my overall rating and review for this album. This is a maybe banger. I was surprised with some of the songs, gladly surprised. Lots of different structures and identities, and this band, I feel like it's difficult to pinpoint exactly what it is. They're like punk, shoegaze, they're like their own unique style, and because of that, difficult of trying to identify, I think is why I have not heard from them before. But overall, I was very pleased. So yes, with that being said, then I'll see you guys in next week, and I hope you like this review. Peace out, bro.